Justice Edith Agbakoba of the National Industrial Court in Abuja has fixed March 6, 2023 to hear a suit by 314 Nigerians who filed a lawsuit against the government over the non-payment of their entitlements amounting to 2.8 billion naira after their alleged unlawful dismissal. Following a suit by Julius Kombenda and 313 former employees of the now defunct Federal Urban Mass Transit Agency, the Industrial Court had on 16 December 2020 entered a judgment in their favor, ordering the payment of the said sum being accrued salaries and entitlements. Respondents in the suit are the Nigerian President, the Head of Service of the Federation, the Minister, Federal Ministry of Transport, and the Federal Urban Mass Transit Agency. The sum of 2.8 billion naira was arrived at after beating the judgment debt from an initial 9.6 billion naira, as the Transport Ministry asked that it be cut down by excluding judgment creditors that were either deceased or now employed in other government establishments. Speaking with journalists shortly after Wednesday's proceedings, Malcolm Keka, Creditors Counsel, and Julius Kongwenda, judgment creditor, have this to say.
Through TSA are domiciled with Central Bank of Nigeria. All government agencies and ministries, all their accounts are with the CBN. And the courts have heard that the CBN is not a public officer. It's only when funds are being held by a public officer that you require the consent of the Attorney General. As far as we know, as far as the judgment of the court is concerned, the Attorney General, the CBN is not a public officer. Advising his clients, that's the government, please, this is what is supposed to be done. Okay, you are talking of consent. If they don't give us consent, they should go home hungry. Their entitlement, the judgment should not be obeyed. I don't understand.
I had not reached 10 years in service with my colleagues. So we are not even entitled to pension, nothing. They just felt that we are children of nobody. How can Nigerians be this wicked to other fellow Nigerians? Why should Nigerians hate themselves this much? They have destroyed our families. It has taken the grace of God for us to remain law-abiding and not to engage in criminality to survive. Most of my members have died. Even this week, we lost one of.
Also, Emmanuel Oluwabiyi, the Central Bank of Nigeria's counsel, which is one of 17 Ganishi banks in the suit, said it has yet to get the consent of the Attorney General for the payment of the judgment's debt.
Was obtained against the federal government, and my client is approached or sued to pay the judgment sum, but we feel constrained that certain things that needed to be done before we pay are not done, and that is why we are contesting the jurisdiction of the courts to order us to pay the money. We feel that the judgment creditor need to cross a particular order. They needed to get certain consent from the Attorney General of the Federation. The consent is not obtained, was not obtained before the order NISA was granted. And so we feel that it's so fundamental. We are just doing this to develop the law so that the law is certain. Everybody who is approaching the courts knows what the law is.